Well, Anthology is, for starters, a beautiful club. I mean, physically, it's beautiful. The acoustics are really good. The sound system is good. The food is great. You know, visually, it's very, aesthetically pleasing. And I mean, and it's just the dressing room is nice, which is, always a plus for us because that's really where we spend most of the time. And when it's laid out nice, it makes it comfortable for the artist. It makes a huge difference that all those little things are taken care of, and it makes you feel like you kind of want to play, and you're taken care of, and you're not being just kind of shuffled around. And like I said, the food is fantastic. So when you have a combination like that, I mean, it's hard to beat. There's not many places in the world that have all of those things. Every club is different. I mean, and they all have their pluses and minuses. I mean, I don't see any minuses here at this club. The Blue Note in Japan is a great club to play. And for other reasons, there's a place called Blues Alley in Washington, D.C. That's a great club. I mean, it's very small and kind of funky, and it's just, I don't know, there's just a sense of intimacy there. Every club has their attributes, and the Village Vanguard has great history. Blue Note in New York is a great club too. So, I mean, we actually don't do that many clubs. Most of the places that we play are theaters, theaters and small, other small venues, anywhere from 3 to 8,000, and some outdoor venues in the summertime. But so clubs are really, not during the course of the year we don't play that many, but it's always great when we do. And to come to a place like this, which is, I mean, you can fit so many people in here, and it's beautiful, but it still has that sense of intimacy, and that's a tough combination to get. There's a sense of intimacy that you get in clubs that you don't necessarily get in theaters. Again, it really depends on the circumstance. I don't think you can generalize about theaters, because some theaters are great. Some, it depends on the acoustics, the way it's laid out, just how high the stage is. Any one of a number of factors that all play into, whether or not a place feels intimate or not. But I think that's always the thing that's desirable for us, is when there's a sense of intimacy. And I think what you get in a club is there's a kind of informality about it, because people are there, they're hanging out. You get a sense that you can kind of try things that maybe you wouldn't try in a larger hall, because it feels more formal. So there's that opportunity to experiment in a club that I think is so attractive, which is why we try to do a few in a year, because it's kind of helps refresh your playing. And it's certainly one of the best clubs I've ever played in, and I've played a lot over the years, all over the world, and obviously a lot of care went into the design and the sound system and everything. This was obviously not just thrown together. Every aspect of the club was obviously thought through and done, first rate. And so when you have that kind of sensibility, that kind of attitude, the approach to making the venue work, it makes all the difference in the world. This club was designed and built from the ground up to do this. And so you have a blank slate, so you can, all those things that sometimes you have to adapt. You have to adapt the room. You have to adapt to the room, because it's a pre-existing, space that has its own reality, its own geometry. But with a place like this, you can, kind of build from the ground up, and then what you get is something that is very specifically designed to do what it's supposed to do, which this club does, great.